There's like 3 people that are even going to understand this, and I don't even know if I understand this. This is what it sounds like the problem is, and this is the trick that I think he's trying to play. Okay, I'm about to try to explain something that I probably don't even have a full understanding of. So my guess is that on this platform, there is the ability to trade on margin, right? You can borrow money to trade, okay? So you have the ability to do this, all right? When you're trading on margin, weird things can happen where, say that the price of a security that you're trading gets really high or really low, your account might get margin called, meaning that your position is sold or closed, and then you end up losing money. You think it's kind of complicated, it's whatever. But like you have this side of the business that does this shit over here, right? But over here, you should have like customer funds that are deposited. And I don't know what else they offered, what other services they offered on this platform, but these funds are not part of this like weird leverage part of the platform. It's not part of like the margin trading or anything. So it seems like every time somebody tries to ask, how the fuck did your customer funds get fucked? And then he is, and then over here he's saying, well, you know, we have a margin trading platform, and sometimes weird things can happen when you're trading on margin. But it's like that doesn't explain how these funds jumped this line. This is my understanding of why his explanations are never making sense. There's no explanation for how customer funds are being used to settle other accounts over here. This should never, ever, 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 ever happen. This should just never happen. So like in the whole Robinhood fiasco, where everybody said that Robinhood was corrupt and blah, 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 the Robinhood shit fiasco had to do with margin accounts being closed, basically, with people getting margin called because of how quickly trades were going. But never, ever, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but never, ever were Robinhood users' customer funds at risk. That never happened, despite the wild fluctuations and collateral differences on GME and AAC and all the other meme stocks. There were never customer funds deposits that were fucking lost in the platform. So the customer funds jumping over here to being used to settle or close these margin accounts is just, he has never given a satisfactory explanation for how that happened. But he always tries to obfuscate or hide behind this weird, like, well, there were margin accounts, which doesn't actually explain what's going on. But I guess if you're not, I don't want to say if you're not super well versed in finance, you understand, because I don't know if I understand 100%, but like this should never, ever, 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 ever happen unless you're using customer funds to settle margin calls or to settle margin trading positions or whatever, like leverage positions. But I mean, obviously that's really fucking bad. Now, the reason why you would do that is because crypto is going up, 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 and it's like it's a sure bet, especially because of the weird deal they had where they were essentially playing arbitrage, which is typically pretty safe. But now the problem is that if shit crashes, not only are you left closing positions of customers, which is whatever, that happens, who cares, it's fine. But now you're using customer deposits to pay off those collateral calls, which is, that should be like federal prison. Like you're fucked. Like you're absolutely engaged in insanely illegal activity there because you're basically stealing money from your customer deposits that should never be at risk in order to satisfy like either liquidity requirements or to close down positions that you had open. Like,
exactly where, but somewhere else in the terms of service.
But they'd have to approve of that. They're saying they didn't approve of it here. They're saying you approved of it.
Now, this is great stuff from Stephanopoulos. He refocused the question, but Sam's...
There's no motive here. Why would FTX do that? So they're not embezzling, just trading for no reason. They had no debt, no reason to do that. Well, the reason why you do that is because if it is the case that I have identified a certain type of trade that is very, 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 very safe, right? If I have a trade that's super safe, then my goal is to trade on that safe trade as much as possible. And if I can steal other people's money to do it, that's a surefire way to make money. Why would I not? I know the trade is safe. I can borrow all the money from my customer deposits. It's not at risk because I know I'm going to make it back because it's a safe trade. The more money I steal from customers, the higher my returns are going to be because that's what leveraging is, right? If I can trade for $10,000 or if I can borrow $10,000 and trade $20,000, make money off it and return the original $10,000, I've kept all the gains of trading with $20,000 while only risking $10,000 of my own funds, right? It's a no-brainer if you're a scam artist, right? So this is the reason, this was the incentive, I believe, for FTX or Alameda or whatever to steal funds from customers, is because they had access to these super, super, super safe trades and crypto was only going up, 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 that, yeah, basically they're like, oh, sure, like I can, I can steal whatever I want to do this. Please consult a professional before giving hot takes. Danarchy, lol. If I said anything wrong, feel free to call me out, you inbred fucking moron. Knock yourself out. Why do platforms allow trading on margin? People like to trade on margin because if you're correct in your guesses, you can make a lot more money, right? Destiny has no clue what the fuck he's talking about. Well, if you think I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. Can you not just play retail with margins or only options? I'm pretty sure you can trade whatever the fuck you want on margin. If you go to an account, if you go to any trader and they let you open a margin account, I think you can buy whatever you want. You can probably trade stock on margins. You can probably do options on margin. Probably whatever the fuck you want on margin. If they approve you for the loan, they charge you interest. You pay that shit all the same, right? Well, let me qualify that a little more. You wouldn't be able to just trade anything on margin. I don't want to get into all of this because it's going to be complicated, but depending on the type of security that you're trading, or depending on the type of financial instrument you're trading, we should say that, there's going to be different liquidity requirements on your margin account. Typically, the more volatile, meaning the more subject to change of price in a day that a certain security is, the higher that volatility, oftentimes the higher the liquidity or collateral requirements are going to be on the particular margin. So there's probably some financial instruments that are too volatile to be traded on margin because the platform won't let you do it, but that's a whole other thing that no one cares about. I think the fraud specifically is that there were specific funds where the TOS said they wouldn't trade on your funds, but they did it anyway. Yeah, kind of, but I'm just saying that, like, if you don't understand the financial minutia, it's hard to catch him in the game that he's playing. But people are saying he does. Coffeezilla does in this video, so we'll watch. But the answers that this guy gives are always so slimy, they make no sense. And it's not like but he's good at weaseling out because nobody knows, nobody really knows what's happening, right? Like, yeah. Like, let's say that I've got like 2 financial services that I offer. Let's say that I'll lend you a little bit of money. Like, you can deposit $10 in my account, and I'll lend you $10 to let you trade on margin. Let's say that that's like one service that I offer. So you can deposit money with me, and I'll lend you a little bit more to trade if you want, but you got to pay interest rates and shit, and that's all. And then let's say on another side, I'm like a savings account. You can deposit money with me, and I'll hold it and I'll pay it back. Let's say that one day there's a huge run on the market or some crazy shit happens, and now all of the people that were trading on margin, now I'm like, okay, I have to close all of your guys' accounts. I'm returning your original funds, whatever. That's okay. That happens. That's fine. But now let's say all the people that deposited money into my services for savings accounts, they lost their money too. Well, their question is going to be, hold the fuck on. Why the fuck did my money just disappear? How the fuck did I lose money? How did I lose money? And the guy goes, well, you see, it's complicated. There's a section of our website that allows for trading on margin. Like, whoa, hold on. I wasn't involved in any of that. I just want my deposits. Like, I wasn't trading. I wasn't doing any of that shit, right? That's the issue, is that he keeps referring to this other part of the business of like margin trading or whatever that has nothing to do with the original deposits of the customers. Those should never, ever, 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 ever be at risk. They should just never, ever be at risk. That should never happen. It shouldn't happen. Unless you're using customer deposits that should be safe as the collateral for the margin accounts, which is only going to work if the market goes up, up, up. But then if the market goes down and you've got to shore up those positions and you start stealing from your customer deposit to do so, but that intermingling, you've done something very, very, very wrong at that point. That's the issue, right? I think. But okay. But we'll see what happens to this. Or at least that's my understanding of what's happened so far. For real, it's my understanding, were they not even collateralized? Were they naked? But no, they weren't naked. I don't think anything was naked. I think they were covered with customer deposits. I think that's the issue. But okay, let's see. Bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.